Of all movie opening scenes, what one sold the entire film the most? Jaws. So eerie. The bright moonlight shining down on the ocean and a swimming girl. And then the ocean is empty again. She screams, "It hurts. It hurts." Such a sick opening. And then she's thrown into the buoy, crying and begging God for her life. You can only imagine the damage the shark's already done below the surface. Then she's ripped away and dragged below. Just like that, all is calm. The actress did a wonderful job. That is some blood-curdling screaming. American Psycho. The opening was perfect. I'm 27 years old. I believe in taking care of myself, and a balanced diet and a rigorous exercise routine. In the morning, if my face is a little puffy, I'll put on an ice pack while doing my stomach crunches. I can do 1,000 now. After I remove the ice pack, I use a deep pore cleanser lotion. In the shower, I use a water-activated gel cleanser, then a honey almond body scrub, and on the face an exfoliating gel scrub. Then I apply an herb mint facial mask, which I leave on for 10 minutes while I prepare the rest of my routine. I always use an aftershave lotion with little or no alcohol, because alcohol dries your face out and makes you look older. Then moisturizer, then an anti-aging eye balm, followed by a final moisturizing protective lotion. There is an idea of a Patrick Bateman. Some kind of abstraction. But there is no real me. Only an entity. Something illusory. And though I can hide my cold gaze, and you can shake my hand and feel flesh gripping yours, and maybe you can even sense our lifestyles are probably comparable, I simply am not there. Edit, hey Paul exclamation mark dot 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 thanks for the gold. A lot of similarities between this dialogue and Kevin McAllister's post-shower monologue in Home Alone. The Last Alliance of Elves and Men, from Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. The crazy thing about it is that it's 10 minutes of exposition and it's completely riveting. Right? From a filmmaking standpoint, on paper, this is bullshit lol. A character we won't meet for 2 hours spends 10 minutes narrating a montage of history scenes? Wow, this is super go holy shit, look at that battle scene, holy shit they made Sauron look bad, holy shit look it's Hugo Weaving. It certainly doesn't hurt that Cate Blanchett has a strong contralto voice and knows how to use it to great effect. Scream. The tension and terror were built up perfectly, and the eventual killing of Drew Barrymore's character was shocking. Not just in its brutality, which was quite graphic for its time, but because such a major name was killed off that soon into a movie. The opening kill is a tried and true horror trope, but it had never been done before with such a big name so early in a film. For the rest of the film, every time you saw a big name show up, Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, you weren't sure if they were going to make it to the end of the film or not. Great to see love for the Scream franchise. Love the meta references and callbacks to some classic horror flicks. And yes, that opening scene is intense, and many believed Drew Barrymore was the main star and were shocked. Also, seeing that ghost face mask for the first time is legit scary. R.I.P. Wes Craven. Funny thing, that is actually a reference to Psycho, which had the same issue. Janet Leigh had top billing, but the famous shower scene was the end of Act 1. The opening scene in Reservoir Dogs completely sums up everyone's character. Mr. Pink goes on his logical rant about why he doesn't tip, showing he is the logic thinker. He also claims always to be the one acting like a professional. Later in the film, he tries to keep the group together and stay professional. Mr. White takes the book from Joe when he gets tired of hearing him drone on and on about Toby, showing they are close friends. Mr. Blonde offers to shoot Mr. White if he doesn't give the book back to Joe. He even shots him with a finger gun, foreshadowing Mr. Blonde's violent actions later in the film. Finally, when Joe asks who didn't tip, Mr. Orange immediately rats out Mr. Pink. Mr. Orange, of course, is the undercover cop and the rat. If we're going Tarantino, I think the opening to Pulp Fiction sucks you in more. No shade at Road though, I love that movie. If we are going for Tarantino, Inglourious Basterds opening takes the cake for me. The OG Star Wars. Not the title crawl but the one right after that. This is so difficult to overstate. I remember experiencing those first few minutes after the crawl. SF movies before the opening scene of Star Wars were either so cheesy or very abstract. First, holy crap, that's a real planet. Then, oh wow, that's a real spaceship. No way. Those are real lasers. And then the Star Destroyer. Oh my god. It tells you all you need to know about the odds the rebellion is up against. The cruiser looks like a decent-sized ship at first, but then the Star Destroyer comes overhead and it feels like it goes on forever. And even that is tiny next to the Death Star. Exactly. It's an absolute clinic in economical visual storytelling. It is the entire conflict of the story distilled into one shot.